Good afternoon. You're back watching One Newsroom. Vote canvassing continues today, and along with the first slew of concessions came the first batch of candidates who are crying election fraud.
Most of these complaints are coming from familiar faces who are losing in their bailiwicks. Here are the details.
Incumbent Bobby Eusebio is heading out the door of the Pasig City Mayor's office. For 27 long years, the Eusebios have dominated the local polls. This time around, 29-year-old Councilor Vico Soto spoiled the return as he led his opponent by a considerably large margin in the count. But Eusebio and his supporters aren't buying it.
Imposible na sa lahat ng cluster, napakababa ni Mayor Bobby Eusebio. Nasa kalahati, kulang pa.
Kitang-kita namin ang pandaraya, lalo na sa barangay namin na Pico Manggahan.
While Vico Soto was being proclaimed new Pasig City Mayor on Tuesday, Eusebio supporters rallied outside the City Hall. This commotion resulted in a partial lockdown of the capital, delaying the proclamation of Soto and Roman Romulo, who also unseated incumbent Ricky Eusebio after leading the congressional race. The defeated incumbent says his camp will take these complaints to the poll body.
Sinabi ko hindi basta-basta alis, hindi ko tinatanggap yung resulta. Kami ngayon ay magpapile ng kaso ng election fraud.
However, political analyst Mon Casiple says the number of people who have grown dissatisfied of the Eusebio's old political dominance was enough to help Soto win. But Casiple also flagged that this is not necessarily good news for the young blood.
Vico Soto in Pasig toppled a decades-long dynasty, and he did it with the successful coalition of virtually all the anti-Eusebio forces, from the right to the left, from major parties to people's organizations. That is actually a complication, because these supporters will expect something from him which may not be actually to the liking of the other forces, meaning he will be a battleground.
Over in Makati, former Vice President Jojo Binay's camp is also refusing to throw in the towel. Supporters were chanting Kid Peña's name when he arrived at the Makati Coliseum yesterday for his proclamation as the city's first district representative. But before he could even go up the stage, his opponent's camp appealed before the city board canvassers to defer the proclamation.
May we respectfully move to defer the proclamation of Kid Peña as congressman of the 1st District of Makati on the ground that there are actually null votes reported in District 1, which would actually require forensic examinations.
Peña defeated Binay by 5,806 votes. Binay's camp argued that there was a mismatch between the total number of votes and the number of voters who actually cast their ballots. Binay's legal counsel explained that there's a discrepancy of almost 9,000 votes, but the Board of Canvassers denied their motion and recommended that they file for a formal pleading.
We just reiterated the provisions of our Comelec Resolution 10485, Section 28, that there are only two issues that may be raised during the canvassing of votes. Yung first doon, yung illegal composition of the members of the Board of Canvassers, and number two, the illegal proceedings committed by the members of the board.
Peña said he is unsurprised by the rival camp's protest.
No, we're expecting it. Expected na namin yung mga ganong klase. But you know, naitaas na tayo eh. Nabigyan na tayo ng kumbaga parang ano na yan. It's okay. Wala nang problema.
In Taguig, supporters of defeated mayoral candidate Arnel Serafica also trooped to the City Hall last night. They want the Board of Election Inspectors to halt the transmission of votes after the BEI proclaimed Lino Cayetano as the city's new mayor. Serafica's camp called the canvassers to make the ballots public so that they can closely watch a recount. But making ballots public is considered an election offense as it violates the secrecy of the ballot. A police barricade was set up to secure the perimeter, so Serafica's 5,000-strong supporters just took their protest to the street. After 3 hours, the protesters decided to vacate the area. Lino Cayetano is the brother of former DFA Chief Alan Peter Cayetano, whose win as Taguig's 1st District Representative has also been proclaimed. The former Foreign Affairs Secretary said opponents and their supporters are allowed to protest as this is part of democracy. Still, he said, there are formal channels where complainants can lodge protests instead of screaming it out in the streets.
Kung happy ka, i-express mo. Kung malungkot ka, dun sa result, express mo. But don't hate the voters and don't hate the democracy. Ang problema, gusto nyo ng demokrasya, pero pag nagsalita na tao, galit kayo na hindi kayo nasunod.
Recall that for provincial and city officials, election protests filed will be heard and decided upon by the COMELEC and Bank. For News 5, Gerard de la Peña. We are One News.